Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC, but do everything DIY. And today we're going to be doing some maintenance on a large condenser water pump. Thank you to everyone tuning in to Jumperman Tech. We are starting the video with this view, as I feel like you guys would appreciate it. You guys like the view of a lot of the other buildings we work in, but this one I think is my favorite one. This is absolutely amazing. Today's task is to do some maintenance on this condenser water pump. This is a primary condenser water pump, and then we got some secondary pumps here. So what's going on is that this thing had thousands of hours of runtime and nobody pulled the strainer. In this case, this is the strainer right here. At the moment, you can see, I don't know if that looks too straight, but anyways, you can see the shaft is spinning. So this pump is running. This pump and this pump are on the same line. So in order for us to do maintenance on this one, we're gonna have to turn this one on and then shut this down, because we need to keep something running. So let's see right here. We follow the electrical. It leads to this VFD. The system is currently, let's see, in auto. It's running at 61.8%, pulling 25.6 amps. And what's the hertz? 37 hertz. We got 37 hertz. It just fluctuated. So this is SCW2, and that is for that pump. This one right here, follow that line, and it goes to this VFD made by ABB. Also, this one was in auto mode. If you look in the top left corner, it says auto. Hopefully you guys can see that. This one is off. So we're gonna have to turn this one on, but you see it's in auto mode. So these are controlled by BMS, Building Management System. So it's controlled by computer software, so they can manage it through there. They would need to turn this pump on so we could turn that pump off if we want to keep it in auto. So they're having an issue right now where they're having the BMS company coming out next week. So probably what we're gonna have to do is put it on hand. See right there, hand, so it will pretty much turn it on. You want these in auto, so these pumps can auto rotate. This one might run for a certain amount of hours, then this one will come on and run for a certain amount of hours, and they switch off. But this thing's been running non-stop for thousands and thousands of hours, so they gotta get their BMS guys over here. So we're probably just gonna have to turn this thing on hand and turn that off. Before we shut that down, we want this one to run, because they need to run all the time. Let's see, we're gonna press hand. All right, so I got it matched up with the other one, 37 hertz at 61%. So this one's running now. Now we can turn this one off. All right, off. Kill the power. The display will go away. Got an alarm because there's no start enabled. We just killed the power. So there's nothing to tell this thing to start. Okay? This is gonna go away. So we got this one running. And now this one is off. So we're safe to work on it. Another safety thing you might want to do is lock out and tag out. We are now safe to begin with this pump. So we have a valve here, and it's gonna be the supply. Water comes in, goes to the strainer, catches all the dirt and debris, then it can circulate through the pump so we don't damage it. Also, let's see, there should be an arrow. You see the arrow? So water's coming down, goes through, spins, and gets discharged. So this is your suction, and this is your discharge. And that's that valve right there. So we're gonna close both the suction and discharge valves so we can cut off the water supply, and then we can continue. All right, let's close it up. Spin it so you feel resistance. All right. next one. Both valves are now closed, and now we want to drain this loop so we could pull this drainer. You could take off this little cap here, this little end cap, and drain from here. But you also want to drain from the lowest point, which is here. So I connected a water hose and I set it down to go into the drain. So now we can open this, and we want to make sure that those valves are holding. So I'm going to crack it open, hold it over there so it don't fly, just in case. I'm going to open this up. You got water coming out? No? No. That's a good sign, but it could also be clogged. You want to make sure. A lot of these things get clogged with debris. You stick like a screwdriver in there, and you know you're all right. All right, just to be sure, let me close this. And let's open this. We're gonna need an adjustable. And I'll take a bag just to do this clean. We're gonna loosen that up. We're gonna open a bag, maybe just to cover the floor, just so we do this a bit neatly. Okay. I'm gonna set that up. Is it draining? Maybe there might be a little bit of water. It's kind of a long hose. So you got a little bit of water going through. Alright, we got a little something coming out of there. Yeah, you got a little bit of something coming out of there. It could be a little bit clogged on these ends. I've seen that happen. We open up something else so we can vent or push the water out, but it should be okay. We want this water to stop, and we could also take off this end cap here and drain from here as well, because a little bit of water will be stuck in this little area even after you drain. Oh, this thing is loose already. They didn't even tighten that. All right. Later on, you're gonna want to put some new Teflon tape on here and actually tighten it down, but should be all right. Just want to see this water stop. All right, we got that draining. Let's try to crack this open a little bit. Oh, now it's draining. We got water. Watch out. Yeah, let me get that hose. Now I got air pushing through there. You're gonna stand over there because we're gonna have quite some pressure. Air is gonna push it out. You got water coming out? Huh? You got water? All right, so now we're actually draining. Got water coming out here, and we got a steady flow on the other side. All right, valve is fully open. It's got a tiny drip there. We should be just about all right. Let's let it finish draining from the lower end, but we should be safe to pull off this cap. It will be nice to get a special fitting to put in here and also attach that to the drain, but I don't have it for this size. All right. Trying to crack these up. All right, that one's good. We're just gonna loosen up each one a bit. There you go. Loosen them up a little bit. Then we're gonna crack this cap, make sure we're safe, and then pull it off. We're down to 2 bolts. We're gonna want to do this part quick. All right, man? Yeah. Get that off. Gonna want to hold this cap. This thing is real heavy. All right. Get that out. Now the last one. I'm gonna balance this while Christian takes off the last one. It's coming out?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, grab that piece, don't let it fall. Calm down. Don't let that fall. Strainer popped right out. That ain't the worst. Got a little decent amount of debris, but look, we got like a rubber O-ring here and another piece of it there. I don't know what that is, but yeah, we got it off. Now we got a slop sink, we got a metal brush, so we're gonna scrape off all that dirt and clean this thing up. You want to see the holes through it, get this thing nice and clean, and get it back in this housing. But I'm gonna make sure this area is clean. This area isn't the most important to be smooth. You want the gasket area to be smooth, but we're not gonna clean that off. You want this area to be smooth. All right, stuff like that. You can take like a wire wheel and try to brush it down, but you should be all right. Here's a little inside look what that looks like. Man, that stuff is crazy. I got this right here. It's a wire brush drill set, super useful for stuff like this. Put it on the drill and clean up any surfaces that you want. These bolts are actually not bad. I can see there's some old anti-seize on there. So what I would do is just lubricate them a little bit more with this right here. This is Permatex anti-seize lubricant. We're gonna put that on the bolts before we put it back. There's a couple little things that fell out of here. You see this? These little things, it's like pieces of plastic. This gotta be the fill from the cooling tower. These condenser water pumps pump water throughout the building for all their heat pump equipment, and it gets cycled and cooled off through the cooling tower on the roof. Here we have the cooling tower, so these pumps circulate water through the heat pumps and through here. Let's look closely. You see this right here? This is the fill. See how it's like breaking apart? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. See that? Pieces of this are breaking off. Not in the best shape. They're breaking off and being pumped in through those pumps. See these pipes? That's where this stuff is connected into. See? It cycles through it. And they got these two cells here. So, little insight of what we're actually working on is some pretty crazy equipment. Now we're gonna wipe off these bolts and apply the anti-seize lubricant. Here it is. Just gonna apply some anti-seize. All right, give it a thin coat. I'm gonna apply it to two, get it in place, and then do each one by one. All right, let's see. We're gonna put it back the same way that it was in. You kind of want it to like grab and stay a little flush. So when you put this cap back on, it's gonna be flush as well. I can see this thing is bent up. So you gotta make sure it's really in there. Shine the light. Let's see where it would actually go in there smoothly. About there looks pretty good. Put that over there. Let's get the cap. Be very careful with that one. Very careful with that one. The sign Keckley goes straight up. Let's get on there. Just careful with my fingers. Line up the holes with the bolts. Let's make sure it goes in there smooth. Alright, we're gonna want to get this in there so it goes in smooth. Now that's in there smooth, just line up the bolts. Let's get some in there by hand. Okay. Get another one maybe here. Start these up by hand and move along. Okay, let's get the first couple started. Make sure we're flush. Not gonna do it too tight, and then we can get the other bolts in. So you can see we're flush here. So the strainer went in there properly. Alright, you're good, Chris. Now we're just gonna get the rest of the bolts in. Starting them by hand, make sure everything is nice and smooth like this. And then we'll tighten it all up. Once we got the first few tight and we got everything flush, then we can just neatly put on the anti-seize on the other ones and just screw them in by hand, make sure it goes in there smoothly, and you're gonna be all right. Nice and smooth, just like that. All right, so we're okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten them, but we're gonna tighten them across. So let's say I tighten this one, then I'm gonna come on this side and tighten this one. Let's say I tighten this one. All right, just snug it. I'm gonna come across and tighten that one. So we're gonna tighten them like that, because if you just go all around, other areas are gonna start to get loose. So let's just let's go ahead and let's tighten this thing up. Once we got everything tightened, we're gonna go over each one and make sure we're good. Okay, this right here can be closed. Might leave this open just to like vent a little bit out of there. And we should be okay. We're gonna open up the water. All right, I got that line only slightly open. So let's crack this a little bit. Right there. You got water? Got water? All right. Got water? All right. So we're just gonna open this. All right. Here we go. Next, we're gonna open up the next one. Watch the ceiling. Okay. And we're gonna open this one. So there's water on that line. I don't see no water leaking through the gasket. We wanna make sure nothing leaks here. All right, we're all in. Let's open this up. Looking good. We're fully open. Oh man, got some dark water coming out of there. Let's flush that out a bit. All right, we're gonna look through here, all the seams, make sure nothing is leaking. Looks like the gasket's holding and everything looks great. Got some Teflon tape on this cap. We're gonna close it up and just tighten it down. Everything looks good. No leaks. Valves open. We could turn this pump on. They want to run this one. And then turn that one off. We're basically just going to switch them over. Turn this on, right? It's in the off position. We're going to put it in the on position. All right, let's wake this bad boy up and start it up. All right, so I put it in auto. I turned off the other one. And when I turned that off, it got the signal to start this one. So this one's starting up. Keep this in auto as well. So this one right here, I left it in auto like I found it. It's off, so it's running that one in auto. You see the shaft is not spinning. And the one we were just working on is in auto. And it's back to where it was, 37 hertz. It just did it itself. It ramped up and came back down. So we're running the pump at 62.2%. See it spinning. Okay, double check, we got no leaks. That right there is a beautiful thing. We're gonna wrap this video up here. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as I come out with new videos every week. And I'll catch you all next time.